Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday, I think it is. Hope you're having a great day out there. Waiting just a second. There we go. Wait, why did that? No, no, no. Hang on a second. Having a momentary back again. My day's been all right. I'm just a little tired, man. Told my wife earlier today I would just kill for uninterrupted sleep, just a little bit of uninterrupted sleep. But otherwise, I'm happy and healthy and ready to go. We'll get to the main topic here in a minute, but we got a couple of headlines to cover real fast, some breaking overnight stuff. Um, actor Jeremy Renner was in a single car collision today in a snowplow. I don't I don't exactly understand what happened. All of the information I can find just says that he was the only one involved, and that he was plowing some snow, and they got a call to come check out this guy who was hurt. It was him. He was flown down. He's in critical condition, but receiving good care. So we'll see what happens. Wish him all the best. This is Hawkeye from the Marvel franchise, if you know who that is. Hawkeye, didn't see that one come. Yeah, yeah. I'm very curious how you get into a snowplow accident where you get that injured. You know what I mean? I guess any car accident can be pretty devastating, but man, that's the kind of thing, when you see actor hurt in snow, you expect mobiling accident or something like that, not snow plowing accident. I'm genuinely curious how this happened, and I'm sure we'll get more stuff later on. I do hope he's okay. I hope he survives, because man, what a screwed up way to start the year, Jeremy. But all the best to him and his family. Also, in much more tragic news, down there near SeaWorld in Australia, there was a helicopter accident that killed four? Is it four people right now? Four confirmed dead? Yeah, four confirmed dead. 13 people were injured as a couple of helicopters crashed. They hit each other. Uh, I've never flown a helicopter, so I don't know how hard it is to see. But how in the hell do you? This happens all too often. Helicopters apparently run into each other all the time. This goes back to when I was a kid. You remember when Carter was trying to do the thing and they crashed two copters together? Huh. Bad stuff happening. Okay, Monk, how long were you asleep? Not that long. Not that long. It's just there. Apparently, I don't get very much sleep at all without bad shit happening anymore. But yeah, there was this is down in Queensland, and it looks bad. It looks bad. Hopefully, the survivors that are there now continue to survive. But man, what a way to start off your new year. Ugh. God, man. Uh, a couple of accidents. Those are the first things I saw when I woke up, and I guess I don't sleep anymore. Yeah, so helicopter crash down there in Queensland. Two helicopters. It says near SeaWorld. I don't know if it had something to do with SeaWorld. I really don't, or why they keep saying it's near SeaWorld. Like, if a car crash happened near Disney, they'd keep saying, yeah, a car crash near Disney. I don't know. And the stories that I've read so far have been less than helpful on that front. So, yeah, we'll see what else happens. Also in the headlines is they've opened up the viewing for Old Pope. So for any of you who were wanting to go see Old Pope, now's your chance. They got the doors to, what is it, St. Francis Bastilis or whatever it is. They have the doors open so you can go in and look at Old Pope. Exciting stuff this morning, you're right. Lots of exciting stuff. This is why we talk about politics more than we talk about just headline news, because headline news is sometimes just depressing, and oftentimes there's not really a lot more to say. You know what I mean? How much more can you say about Jeremy Renner was in a car crash and two helicopters hit each other? I mean, other than I wish everybody well, and it's tragic. Thank you, Officer Buck. Maybe they were a SeaWorld ride. Um, it was mentioned a moment ago. They could have been like uh, tour helicopters. There's places that do that. But again, whether or not it was actually related to SeaWorld, I don't know. It was just near it, is what everybody keeps saying. Considering airspace restrictions, helicopters essentially drive down streets in the sky. I've never understood air to air collisions. I look in the sky, right? And it's a big fucking place. And there's always like, oh, we had near misses with airplanes today. How? Un- Unless it's like on arrival or something, right? I don't care how many airplanes you have up in the air. We have like thousands of feet, thousands of feet going up, and you could fly all these planes at different levels, but they're always like, nah, bruh. What you want to do is y'all want to be in the same path, so that if one of you goes the wrong way, you hit each other. Am I the only one confused by that? Because it's not like cars. It's not like cars where you're on a 2D plane. You have three dimensions you can move in: up, down, left, right, front, back. There's all kinds of different ways you can move these fucking things, and somehow this isn't okay. I need to correct this real quick. This doesn't have anything to do with those helicopters. I'm just talking in general for the record. But collisions in midair, how there's a there's a big fucking sky out there. Like, no, we need them all to go in the exact same line. That's stupid. The problem with regulation, you're right, Faithless. Thank you, Officer Buck. Looks at Monk's video game flying record. What? Look, I don't hit things when I fly. I just crash. So there. How you like me now? The only time I've ever hit anything while technically flying was when I was in a flying suit and Satsu flew up my ass. That wasn't on me. That was in him. 2D my butt. Have you seen Dukes of Hazzard? Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't understand it. Like that's a big ass sky. How the fuck you keep running people into each other? I often have the same thought when I'm watching videos about like sea wrecks and stuff. It is amazing how many boats hit each other. And we're talking big ass boats. Now they go across certain lanes almost like on roads with cars and stuff. So I get it a little bit, but you don't have to be e- exactly on top of each other. But so often you see that it's a big ass ocean. I get it. You want to stay with currents and stuff like that. You want to take the shortest route. I guess that, yeah, absolutely. But couldn't y'all like spread out just a little bit? I mean, you don't have to be like you're actually on a road for a car. Officer Buck, thank you. So you admit you hit the ground. Did I ever say different? I've never suggested otherwise. Yeah, I just don't understand. Eh. They fly at different altitudes. Crashes tend to be when landing or taking off with planes crossing paths. I hear you, Bubba, but it's not always the case. And we've heard about like air traffic controllers getting tired and sending these planes almost into each other. We had so many near misses. If you ever want to see something scary, look up the near misses in air travel. Luckily, they are misses. I just don't understand why they got to be that close. I just don't. All right. What else do we have? Don't care about that. Don't care about that so much. I want to get to the main topic because I have a lot to say on this. I really do, because this is a bit annoying to me. Um, a couple of people today. Well, let's start with the Trump tweet. Fuck it, I'm just going to jump into it because I don't care. Trump. It wasn't a tweet. It was a what are they called over there? Truths. Is that what they call them on Truth Social? It was a tweet on Truth Social. Thank you, Officer Buck. So how do you hit the ground when there's so much sky? Because you're trying to land. and you can't land in the sky. But thank you for the donation. Donald Trump said, "It wasn't my fault that the Republicans didn't live up to expectations in the midterms." That is true. That is true. And I don't disagree with that part of it. And then shit goes downhill. I was 20 or 233 out of 20 or 220. So out of 253 races, 233 that he backed won. That is a really good, I guess, record. And all of the people like, he just backed the wrong candidates. Those 20, some of them were really bad candidates, like Herschel Walker. He backed Herschel Walker because Herschel Walker had been loyal to him. That's all it came down to. It's not that he had dug deep into Herschel Walker's political background and his political stances and was like, yes, this is the guy. He did it because Herschel Walker had been defending him for so long. He really has. He's been a very big Trump supporter. But he was a shitty candidate. Officer Buck, thank you. You land by hitting. You hit the runway. Yeah. It's common parlance. You should check it out. Thank you for the donation. Herschel Walker was a bad candidate. And we talked about this. His delivery, even if what he was saying was good, his delivery was crap. And I'm not even talking about when he accidentally said that this erection was for the people, which got Lindsey Graham's attention, but just his garbled way of speaking, especially when you're running against somebody like Warnock, who's a preacher, a trained public speaker, and you get this guy up there who sounds like he just had a concussion last week. That's never going to be an easy win to begin with. But he also wasn't all that bright either. So occasionally, a couple of those 20 are actually Donald Trump's fault, where he should have been like, you know what? You're my friend and everything, and I see that you're winning or that you're running, but I don't think you're right for the job here. As a businessman, Donald, you should be able to do that. Get him a job in something else. Help him find a job somewhere else. That could be your loyalty repayment. Don't piss away Georgia. Don't piss away Georgia because this guy was like, I like you, Donald. And this is where we go off the rails. It was the abortion issue. No, it wasn't. Poorly handled by Republicans, especially those that firmly insisted on no exceptions, even in the case of rape, incest, or life of the mother, that lost large numbers of voters. All right, now, I do think that it was a mistake for people like Lindsey Graham to come out and go, we need to ban all abortion across the country. When you've had this issue that has been litigated in the public sphere for so long, when it's been argued over for so long, when part of the message has been this should be a states' rights issue, and the first thing your dumbass does after Dobbs drops is be like, we need to ban it nationwide. Yeah, it was a bad look. Did it cost the election? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But they should have, and we talked about this during the election, the exceptions for rape and life of the mother, those should be in there. I get it. I understand all the arguments on both sides. Trust me, I do. But especially when you just have this happen, right? And you're going from anytime abortion, basically, in some spots, to trying to push so hard the other way to like, yeah, I don't care if the bitch is dying or not. She gonna have that baby. You know what I mean? Not a good look. Not a good look. However, if it's what you truly believe, then you should actually truly say it. That's the important part there. If it's what you truly believe, that's what you should be saying. Because you shouldn't just be out there doing this based on, well, this is what's going to get me the most votes. If you want to win, that's what it should be. But you should have conviction too. So this becomes the part where you have to play politics. Would you rather have all abortion or only in rape and life of the mother? If you have to pick one, which one do you take? See what I'm saying? So you could come out and say, look, personally, this is what I believe, but I think practically right now, this is what we need. That's one way to do it. But no, you had some of them just went whole hog, like, no, none of the abortion ever. Uh, including something like the 12-year-old girl. I mean, you had some people like, no, she still should have had to have that baby. That's actually quite dangerous. Very dangerous. Plus, she was raped, for fuck's sake. Anyway, so he's got a little bit of a point on messaging here. A little bit of a point. Dark conservatarian. Thank you. Holy crap. This is unprecedented. How many passionate pro-lifers are we going to see become pro-choicers just because their God Emperor Trump says so? Oh, dude, we haven't even got to the part that really annoyed me about this. Okay. Trump having this opinion, I mean, whatever, he's wrong, but he can have the opinion. He also says, also the people that pushed so hard for decades against abortion got their wish from the U.S. Supreme Court and just plain disappeared, not to be seen again. I don't know how much of that is true. How many people abandoned conservatism or whatever, didn't go vote because, yay, Dobbs happened. I don't think that I've seen anything to suggest that, other than Donald Trump here saying it. And then finally he said, plus Mitch's stupid monies. Yeah, that part is true. There was some, let's call it questionable. Is that a good way to questionable spending ideas from old Mitch McConnell when it came to the election? Things like throwing money at Murkowski up there in Alaska. I don't know why he'd throw that much money at a woman who's never been on the Republican side ever. Keldrick, thank you. Lindsey Graham needs to go back into whatever closet he came out of. Well, no, he's still in the closet. Why is Lindsey Graham in the closet? He's never left that closet. He just needs to close that door and lock it is what needs to happen. Stop poking his head out every once in a while. Now, I saw this thing from Donald Trump, not because of Donald Trump. In fact, I saw it because of this guy. I don't know who this guy is. I don't follow him. Share the screen. There we go. I don't follow this guy, but apparently several people I do. And I know, ladies, I give y'all a bunch of shit, but a bunch of dumb women that I follow retweeted this guy. He said this: the conservative preoccupation with children at drag shows is indicative of a party-wide crisis. The absence of a positive vision for the country. Say what you will about AOC, but she has a positive aspiration for America that goes beyond hating the other side. So I saw several of the women that I follow agreeing with this nonsense. As well as when I'd go over to their pages to look at them agreeing with this Trump thing. And it women, listen to me. Please listen to me. Okay. I understand that you guys, y'all are very emotional people. I get it. I get that you're wanting to just be nice to everybody. But if you agree with something like at least AOC has a positive vision for America, and that makes people who disagree with her and say the shit she wants to do is bad and going to destroy America, and that those people, look, they're not really offering anything. How about this? Status quo is an offer. You understand that, right? Status quo is an offer. It's like, hey, we should beat ourselves in the knee with a hammer. Like, I don't think we should do that. Oh my God, you didn't offer any other suggestion. You didn't offer a reason what you should do with that hammer. You just said you shouldn't beat yourself in the knee. You fucking, you have no ideas. You just have no ideas. Why does this make sense to you? Why does that kind of Why does that shit make sense to you in any manner? It's stupid on a level that's insulting. But wait, he goes on. Conservative policies seem to be primarily based around grievances like groomers. We're going to stop right there before we get to the rest of this. Grievances like groomers. Grievances against people who are trying to have sex with children. That's not enough for him. Apparently, you need a positive thing. You need a positive thing. I guess not having sex with children isn't enough. No? Grievances like groomers, border crisis, money to Ukraine, wokeness. But there's no positive vision to replace these. I dare say there's a whole phrase out there that's thrown at a whole bunch of conservatives right now. What is it again? Make America great again. Seems like a positive vision, but I don't know. There's no positive vision to replace these. Once again, border crisis. Let's go with border crisis. How is it not a positive vision to say we should secure the border? That's not a positive vision. It's only not a positive vision if you don't believe that securing the border is the right thing to do. See, this is the kind of nonsense that comes up with the we need immigration reform bullshit. We need immigration reform. No, we don't. We really don't. What we could do is cut out all the red tape and get it taken care of properly and kick all the fucking illegals out now. One of the reasons that things have started to take so long, there's two reasons that the time it takes to legally immigrate to America has more than doubled. It went at one time, it was close to 5 years to it's as much as 15 years now. So almost tripled. One is the homeland security issues. After 9/11, we got a little bit more involved in checking backgrounds. That's a little bit of it. And then another big part of it is that we have so many fuckers in this country illegally that our immigration courts are filled, instead of being with people who should actually be being investigated. Hey, let's go see if this person is a terrorist. Instead of that, all of our immigration resources are taken up trying to deal with all the illegals here, whether it's in the court or whether it's through actual enforcement at the border or whether it's through digging background information. All of this shit is being eaten up by illegals. Take care of that and you take care of the problem. No, the problem is too many. All these people want to be here. We need immigration reform. Kick them out. No immigration reform that we should be considering should include come to our country illegally. All of it. Every time they talk about this shit, what do they say? Well, it needs to include a path to citizenship. There's a path to citizenship. Take your ass home and apply like a normal person. And instead, they're like, what we think. Look, we're not gonna give them amnesty. They're gonna go to the back of the line, but they're gonna get a path to citizenship. Well, if they're already fucking here, you are giving them amnesty. If what you're doing is saying we're putting them at the back of the line, so they're going through the system, and you're letting them stay here. What's the difference? What's the difference? But hey, saying we should secure the border is not a positive outlook. That's not a positive thing. No. What else do we have here? Money to Ukraine. Hey, we should be taking care of our own first. Not a positive message. Not a positive message, apparently. And wokeness. All right. Anyway, there is no positive vision to replace these. What positive vision? What positive vision? By the way, is this the guy? Yeah, if you look in his description there, he's got a little Ukrainian flag. You can see it right there. Right there. He's got the little Ukrainian flag. So Can you imagine which of these is his most important thing there that he thinks is the problem? Can you guess what little warmonger here thinks is the real issue with the Republicans and the conservatives and the libertarians and anybody else who doesn't think we should be giving money to a known dirty piece of shit? Anyone? Anyway, he finishes this with, they invoke anger-based voting, not an optimistic vision for the future that addresses challenges we face. Yeah, and we'll just take the first female answer right there. A vision that's largely built on being against something cannot be sustained for long. When you stand for something, you unite people. Against, you're just temporarily friends since you're an enemy of an enemy. It destructs more than it creates, and we need to create to move forward. All right. You fell for his bullshit, you stupid bitch. Excuse me. had a little truth stuck in my throat there. The Republicans are having a fight right now. And whether you're conservative or an actual Republican, you're probably paying attention to it. It's the Ronna McDaniel's re-election to her spot as the RNC chair, which she'll probably win. If things stay as they are right now, she's going to win. She's another one of these people that should not be in her position. She's only there because Trump backed her and basically installed her as the RNC chair back in 2016. And since then, let's see, we've had 2018 where, oh yeah, they lost. 2020 where, oh yeah, they lost. And 2022 where they did win in the House at least, but their win in the House was underwhelming and their loss of a seat in the Senate was pathetic. And so you have a whole bunch of people out there arguing about what caused what and who's doing who, why things happen the way they are. And so everybody's going to be banging their own personal drum. Trump is, as far as I know, pro-choice, and always has been. He's never been like hardcore pro-life, if pro-life at all. And I may need to stand corrected on that. But as far as I know, this was never one of his big pushes. He was never a pro-life Republican. Don't forget, guys, and I'm not downing Trump to those of you who are Trump believers out there, but Trump is largely a progressive and always was. He always was. Now, he grabbed onto a few things that I did agree with, things like securing the border, which that Peter Boghossian dude told us isn't a positive vision, by the way. But he grabbed onto a few populist ideas that had been very popular, not just in conservative circles, but also in moderate and even some Democratic circles for a long time, and ran with them. And he did a decent job in promoting that stuff. But when it comes to being your hardcore conservative, not really. Even if you want to go with, hey, he lowered taxes, sure, that's a Republican thing. But in theory, so is paying as you go. You know, if we're going to spend, we have to pay for it. So if you cut taxes, we need to cut all the shit that's going into our budget. None of that shit got cut. Nothing. Can anybody tell me the last time the money spent from year to year to year went down from our federal government? Anybody? Even when they balanced the budget under Bill Clinton, it didn't go down. We just keep spending and spending and spending and spending. So I really do have a problem when I hear people talk about, you know, what a strong Republican he is when it comes to Donald Trump. Look, if you guys want to America first, whatever, by all means, sail with that ship. And if you believe in him, vote for him. But remember, the only reason the left doesn't like him is because he beat Hillary Clinton. It's not because of his actual policies or anything. The only policies they ever got mad about was the border shit. The border shit and him saying that we should have a pause on immigration from uh, Muslim countries. Remember that shit? They never really got mad about much else. The tax cuts they did because, oh, tax cuts to the rich. They never mentioned it was across the board tax cuts because, well, why would they? It's true, but why would they mention that? They never, ever really cared. He was on their side on a lot of stuff. Trump knew he could become president through the Democratic Party, so he went through the Republican. I don't necessarily think a populist president is the worst thing in the world to have. I think the team sports that we're seeing is, and what we're seeing in the Republican Party right now is just more team sports. You have the Trump wing of the Republicans fighting with the McConnell wing of the Republicans, which is weird because the McConnell wing is also part of the Rona McDaniel wing as well. It's interesting political infighting if you're into that kind of stuff. More interesting to me, though, is all the finger pointing about who did what and why it's all failing. Like this Peter Boggs Hosny. Who is this guy again? I forget who he is. He is a philosopher, author, and father. Okay. Well, you lost me at philosopher because I think philosophy is the realm of the board. Did Trump get more right or did the Dems more left? Well, the Dems have definitely moved more left. Definitely moved more left. Trump, I don't know how much more right he got because some of the stuff that he's been talking about, like with securing the border, he's been talking about that for years. As I've told you, he's not the first person to suggest a wall, but it's not like he only picked up on the wall in 2015. John, thank you so much. Monk, get that hate. Hang on. Monk, get that. Hated about equity, not equality of the nuggie distribution. I don't like the nuggies. I like nuggets because I'm a grown-up. Peter Boghossian was one of the guys that did those bullshit papers. Does that say poopers? What does that say? See if they could get published and peer reviewed. Oh, he did those papers that were full of shit. I get you. That really looks like it says poopers because I'm not wearing my glasses. All I see is the country burning down to the ground. You know what, Eagle? Here's my problem with like this Boghossian dude here. Saying that something that is going on right now is wrong, saying that this needs to stop, you don't necessarily, that can be a positive on its own. The wokeness out there, stopping this nonsense of telling every little white kid that they're racist because their great grandparents may have been. That stopping that is a good thing. Bogosian, I can read this. That says Boghossian. Look, man, I understand that that's probably how you're supposed to read it, but I'm just going to prove my point here. And as somebody who used to watch Dukes of Hazzard, which was brought up earlier, Boss Hog, that says Boghossian. That is Boghossian. I don't care how he pronounces it. I will call him Boghossian because that's how he spells his fucking name. So Peter Boghossian here, he's upset that all you have is being anti-woke. Being anti-woke is positive. How do you not get that? Not spending all of our money in Ukraine when we can't take care of our own. And forget all the arguments about whether we should be taking care of our own. The amount of money that we have spent in Ukraine, we could have given all kinds of whatever help you can think of to American citizens who aren't well off. made sure that no kid goes without food, period. $100 billion now. $100 billion. Oh, you can't just be against that. The fuck I can't. The fuck I can't. There's no reason my money should be going there. And especially when you're talking about coming out of an election where the number one issue, and this is part of where Trump got it wrong, the number one issue, even with the press ignoring the shit out of it and trying to talk up abortion as much as they could, was still inflation. And this is where Trump did get it wrong, because if you look at the polling both before the election and the exit polls, abortion at most is about 30% of why people voted, according to everything we've seen, everything we have to look at, about 30%. That's a big number, except for that inflation was higher than that all the time. And the other issues, Mr. Boghausian, listen to me here for a minute, were crime, immigration, and the economy in general. It's almost as though those things actually work, as those are things people actually care about, as though you don't need to be out there being AOC and going, I'm going to completely ruin the country. Isn't that a great thing? What kind of fucking retard comes out there? Hey, look, whatever you think about AOC, at least she has a positive vision. Yeah, as long as you don't know anything about what she's talking about. This is the positive vision. Yeah, let's bring some communism and some socialism here to America. Look how positive it's been everywhere else. Just because she talks with flowery fucking language doesn't make it a positive thing, you dumb son of a bitch. But she said it in a way that makes the women of the Republican Party get wet. Yeah, I saw that. And it just proves to me over and over again that women's votes shouldn't count. I'm sorry. If you can look at what AOC says and go, well, at least that's a positive vision, then you're dumb. You're just dumb. And I don't care how flowery she puts it. If you're swayed by that kind of thing, I don't think you should be voting, because you're not a serious person. You should be sitting down reading children's books. No, it's but she makes it sound so good. Makes it sound so good, but what about the reality of it? Oh, let's not talk about that. That's negative, monkey. That's negative. Arguing again. This is where we are in society, where arguing against communism isn't a positive. What the fuck? When did that happen? Thank you, John. Talked to my emotional support dog and he hung himself. Now I feel really bad. I feel bad for your dog. It's a meme you apparently don't know. What meme? I feel like I missed something. I don't understand why anybody would think what we really need is just a good flowery language. Because as long as we make it sound positive, she has a positive vision. The Republicans aren't offering anything. All right. Here we go. Once again, I use the knee and the hammer. Let's try this one. All right. You're standing there. Okay. I want to set you on fire. Now, if you don't come up with a flowery, if you just say, hey, no, don't set me on fire, that is not a good reason for me not to set you on fire. In fact, I'm going to make you nice and warm. You're never going to be cold again. Look, I just made it flowery. I made it sound like a positive vision. That's a good positive vision. I'm going to keep you warm for the rest of your life. And all you're doing is, please don't set me on fire. I don't want to be on fire. Those aren't good arguments against me setting you on fire when I'm just trying to make sure that you never are cold again. This is the stupidity of this kind of thinking. I don't know how people fall for this. Status quo absolutely is an offer compared to throwing it all away. But no, you're not giving us any vision. Stopping racism in our schools, stopping the sexual mutilation of children, stopping the grooming of children. All of these things in and of themselves are positive, you stupid prick. Now I get it. You're a warmongering piece of shit who wants to send all your money to Ukraine. Send your money, leave mine the fuck alone. I got my Ukrainian flag. Yeehaw. Fuck off. You know, the Ukrainian flag, at one point somebody said it's replaced the check mark as a sign of dumb people, and I have to disagree. It shows stupidity on a level that the check mark never did. Never did. Yeah. It has exposed people who either aren't paying attention or who are paying attention and don't care. Because we know Zelensky's a shitbag. We know that there's Nazis running around in Ukraine. They were doing stories about it in 2021. Not in 2020, not in 18, not in 16, not in 10, 2021. About 6 months before the invasion, maybe 8 months before the invasion, there was I want to say it was an NBC piece. It was either NBC or ABC. Did a massive piece on the Azov Brigade and these Nazis running around in Ukraine. But then the Russians get involved and suddenly, there's no Nazis there anymore. There couldn't be any Nazis because we we want to give all these people our money because Joe Biden said it's a good idea. We don't have to give them. We don't have to support Russia either. It's possible to stand at the side and go, wow, that's fucked up over there. We're going to make sure we're all good in case shit gets out of control. But you guys deal with your shit. But, well, what the hell? What do I know? I think at least the status quo is better than the shit where the status quo is already not good. Hell, I'm for what this guy would probably call regression. I want to go back to when we taught kids math and science, not, what the inside of their teachers' bloomers look like. I want to go back to Russia and Ukraine dealing with their shit and us making sure we're okay in case anything gets out of hand. I want to go back to one of the things that Donald Trump did well. I want NATO to be putting in their money so that it's not just us defending everybody, like it was supposed to be. I would like it to be, I don't want to say necessarily the 80s again, but between the 80s and 90s, I think we need to go back there and just reset to that time and start over. Just start it all over and see where we fucked up, because we fucked up repeatedly, over and over and over again, to the point now where if you deny being racist, you're obviously a racist, because only a racist would deny being a racist. That's the kind of shit that he's talking about, the wokeisms. That's all you got is wokeisms. I don't get how anybody with a brain can sit there and think that just because somebody says something that sounds good. How dumb have people? You're supposed to be a philosopher. How can you be there and be like, yes, just because it sounded good makes it a better argument? That's actually the truth. We can't just have, by the way, that the reaction that I read to you from that chick, I didn't give you, he responded to that. He said, correct. When she said, if you're against, you're just temporary friend since you're enemy of my enemy. Correct. No, it's not. No, it's not. I firmly believe that some of these people don't understand what it means to even be conservative. Republican, whatever you want to call it, but the underlying value of conservatism, of doing as little as possible. There was a tweet from the Republicans the other day where they said, Republicans believe in small government. Where? Because even the Republicans don't seem to believe in that shit anymore. There's very few of them. Rand Paul, maybe. But where are the Republicans out there standing up going, "Hey, we need to stop spending so much in taxes"? They'll bitch about a big tax bill, but where where is their let's cut funding to this program or that program, or we need an across the board 10% cut just to start getting our fiscal house in order? Where's the our government has gotten too big. We need to cut back on some of these agencies, especially the ones that are redundancies at this point. We have redundancies on redundancies on redundancies. Like it's a space shuttle rather than the government. Where is all this shit? Where is it? You want to talk about where Republicans are failing? That's where they're failing on actually preaching anything conservative. The voters do, but not the politicians. Agreed. Absolutely. And anytime that the Republicans do start preaching that stuff, they win. And then what happens? They get elected, they stop doing it. The Democrats come along with their bullshit. And since the Republicans pissed everybody off, their voters stay home and we start the cycle again. If you want to see what happened in 2022, just look at the abandonment of conservative principles, the abandonment of any kind of fiscal policy within the RNC itself, any kind of smart ad buying. Their ad buys were fucking horrible. Rumble isn't showing you live. Has you scheduled 10 minutes from now? Well, it. I actually think you're quite behind on that. It should be scheduled an hour ago, and there's people over there. I don't know what's going on with it, Shroom. Sorry, bud. Yeah, I was scheduled for 4:15, not 5:15. The Republican Party have too many Republicans have too many Democrats in their party. They do because, oh man, it gets fashionable. Like lots of people hate the woke movement, and so they'll be like, "Yes, wokeism is stupid," and so they'll be like, "Oh, Republicans are making kind of sense." You know where the Republicans would really make sense if they backed abortion and had a couple more programs for poor people and maybe gave some money to Ukraine and had some hate speech laws. That would be where the Republicans were really great. You have a lot of these fair weathered friends who come in and instead of actually caring about what is on that side, we're going to take it over and change it. That's what they're talking about. I'm watching the same thing go on with the Libertarian Party right now because it's funny as shit. I walked away from the Libertarian Party. Oh God. It was when God, maybe 2 years after Bush's second term, somewhere around there. Because that's when I started flirting with the Libertarian Party. Because I do like the Libertarian Party principles, or at least what they used to be. And I walked away from them at that time because they were so entrenched in their beliefs, right? And they were like, no, we can never give ground on anything ever. And I'm like, all right, look, it's better to pay lower taxes than the taxes we have now. I get that you want to get rid of taxes, but it's better to pay lower taxes than to just keep paying everything, right? And they're like, no, can never compromise on our principles. I'm like, you could still have that principle and slowly get people used to not paying taxes. Like, no, it's all or nothing. Like, I what you guys say, but you guys are born losers because you will not compromise at all. And then Bernie Sanders happens in 2016. Bernie Sanders had his flirt with destiny, and guys, he was never going to get elected. Okay, he was never going to beat Hillary. Just get that through your heads. But still, he has this flirt with destiny, and it comes out that Hillary Clinton and the DNC had, well, I'm using air quotes, huge air quotes here, cheated him. Well, they only cheated him in so much as they made sure that he was going to lose, even though he was going to lose. Your FBI agent, thank you so much. Monk, I disagree with. And can you move in front of the window? I'll put it down as suicide if that helps. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to stay right where I am. But anyway, so I'm watching the arguments going on in the Libertarian Party right now. And because Bernie Sanders fails and everybody's like, well, I'm not going to the Green Party, which is where they belonged. They're like, we're going anti-status quo. We're going into the Libertarian Party. And you had the Libertarian Party, I won't say taken over because it's taken a few years for it to happen, but this massive influx of actual progressive liberals, commies. That's who they are. If you're a Bernie Sanders supporter, you're a commie. You just are. And so they all went to the Libertarian Party. You have this group of radical authoritarians infiltrating the smallest government possible party. And today they're having the exact same kind of argument that I'm talking about that Republicans should be having with themselves, and they're kind of having it. Where who's really controlling this? Right now, you have progressives in control of the Liberal Party, the Democrats, the Republicans, and the Libertarians. They're controlling everything, literally everything. It's fucking weird. Meanwhile, the party bases are still there going, what the hell? How did this happen? And a big part of it is Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders ruined a lot of things. Bernie Sanders is a horrible, horrible person. Bernie Sanders came out, I am a socialist. I mean, I'm a democratic socialist. I didn't mean when I said I'm a socialist, I meant a democratic socialist. That means I believe that you should get to vote on how authoritarian we are to you. We're not going to listen, but just in case. Almost like it was by design, right? Just another guy. They're in control of everything. And again, my apologies, ladies. You're not live. There's nothing I can do about it. I have it started. I appreciate everybody letting me know that I'm not live over there. There's nothing I can do to make it go live from here. It was supposed to start. Sorry. I'll just have to take it down because it's obviously not going to have something there. But yeah, I have no way of kicking it off. Actually, wait, maybe. Hang on. Let's see. No, because on my end, it's telling me that I'm live. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. But Bernie Sanders coming out and admitting being socialist, it made it okay to be socialist, and they just went whole hog, and shit has gone downhill since. We were on a downward slide going into 2016, and Trump and the meme wars and the anti-SJW shit and all of that stuff that went along in there helped. It really did. It was kind of a pullback from the Gamergate stuff where suddenly it was all about the feminism. And I don't mean to make it about Gamergate, but that the Gamergate thing, above all else, kicked off this new wave of feminist bullshit. And we saw kind of a pullback on that with 2016 in Trump's win. But overall, boy, did we see these little fuckers pop up everywhere. And they're everywhere now. And you have these people who really do believe that they are conservative or libertarian or whatever, when they are quite clearly progressive Democrats. Quite clearly what they are. Shit, man, we have the Democrats themselves out there now talking about wanting to limit speech. Elected leaders talking about wanting to limit speech. Did we watch the video of that fucknut who went up there and told us that you can't have hate speech? That hate speech is not real free speech? I don't think we watched that. Let me see. That wasn't too long ago. My cousin hasn't been that busy over on Twitter, so maybe we'll be able to find it. We talked about Ted Lieu, where he said, he wishes that he could limit your speech, but that damn Constitution, that fucking Constitution got in his way. Yeah, this is Senator Cardin. This is back on the 28th. Make sure I share the audio. Excuse me. All right, dummy, take it away.
If you espouse hate, if you espouse violence, you're not protected under the First Amendment. So I think we can be more aggressive in the way that we handle that type of use of the internet. We know that Europe has done things, and I think we have to learn from each other.
I'm gonna let that play one more time.
If you espouse hate, if you espouse violence, you're not protected under the First Amendment.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
So I think we can be more aggressive in the way that we handle that type of use of the internet.
Wrong.
We know that Europe has done things. I think we have to learn from each other.
We need to learn from Europe on how to deal with free speech. Wow. Wow. That is a sitting senator in the United States Senate, y'all. This comes just I want to say it was the next day, the day after that Ted Lieu said his stupid shit. Where Teddy went, I would like to limit speech, but I'm blocked by that stupid. Did we actually watch that, or did I just talk about it? Because I know I was having internet troubles there. Where he actually said that to that fat Brianna chick over on CNN. I know it's not nice to call her that fat Brianna chick. It just makes me laugh. And I know it's fucked up, but I don't like her. And yes, it's juvenile, but it makes me laugh, and I like to laugh, so fuck her. But yeah, he gets up there and he's like, yeah, I would really like to tell you what you're allowed to think or what you're allowed to say, but the First Amendment prevents me from doing that. Like, Teddy, you're a fucking U.S. congressman. All right. Just in case we didn't watch it then. Now, I want you to remember, this is what the progressive Democrats are saying. Now, imagine what the ones were saying was, oh, I'm not a Democrat. I'm a Republican, I promise you. But by the way, I kind of agree with this. Imagine how much of that shit's going on. John, thank you. Does he have a specific flavor of Windex or when he licks the window? I have no idea. Probably the same as Teddy here.
Separate, because you were in this Google.
All right, now this is about the hearing. Google's up there on the Hill, and she asks him a very specific question. There's two really dumb things he says in this. One of them is about her question, and then the other is just Teddy going, I'm an authoritarian crack. I'm a piece of shit.
Separate, because you were in this Google hearing. Yes. The CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, testifying before your committee about a number of...
That was their video, not me.
...concerns. You took an opportunity to push back on Republican claims of bias in Google searches. In the middle of this hearing, you Googled Republican Steve Scalise. You Googled, after that, Republican Steve King to show...
This is what I told you about the other day when discussing this. Steve Scalise, you're really not allowed to question all that much because he got shot. Steve King, kind of a racist. So he picked these two names. They weren't random. He didn't just go, let's do people named Steve. He did it on purpose. But it's him showboating. Anyway.
So that there were favorable stories, including from conservative outlets about Scalise, negative coverage of King. And you made the point, essentially, that's not because of a Google algorithm. It's because of what these members do and say. I will say it was clever. It caught some attention. But I wonder, have you thought that maybe you and other Democrats have missed opportunities to use your time to press Google's CEO at a time when these large tech companies are struggling to manage content, perpetuating conspiracy theories? They're so vulnerable to outside interference. Isn't that a focus that could have been a missed opportunity?
Now, don't think she's asking a good question here. Why is Ted showing us his neck like that? Yeah, doesn't it sound like he's trying to hear somebody like way over there? Like, what? Yeah, I don't know why he's doing that, because you know what it is? It probably goes back to the Windex thing. Somebody probably had cleaned the camera that he's on with Windex, and he's sniffing it, getting ready to lick. I honestly don't know. But don't think that this was a good question, because it sounds like she's like, okay, look, You were wasting your time here. Wasn't there better things to ask about? But you have to understand that her better things to ask about was just more authoritarian control. Shouldn't you guys have been in there making they have so many outside influences like the FBI and the CIA and you guys in Congress and the rest of us in media? Don't you think that there should be even more control on these guys to make sure that they don't let people say what they want to say? Is what she's asking. I just put it more succinctly than she did. We'll get to his answer in just a second. There was a donation that came through. 1 second here, guys. I wish this updated automatically. SteamYards, seriously. Sorry, Streamlabs. It shouldn't be that hard. Ted Lou, thank you. No, I just like to raw dog that window. Love you, Monk. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. But for the record, you spelled Lou wrong. Ted Lou, chat will tell you this. The easy way to remember to spell Ted's last name is lie you. It's literally lie you. Fucking piece of shit. Now, here's Teddy's answer.
So it's a very good point you make. I would love if I could have more than 5 minutes to question witnesses. Unfortunately, I don't get that opportunity.
Then you shouldn't have showboated. You should have just started questioning. Question. I would love to have more than 5 minutes I should not be doing that. That's going to get me in trouble. I would love to have more than 5 minutes to ask questions. But if I did that, then I wouldn't have had this moment that you would have had me on your show for. See? It worked, Brianna, you tubby twat.
However, I would love to be able to regulate the content of speech. The First Amendment prevents me from doing so.
I would love to be able to moderate the content of speech, to regulate the content of speech. The First Amendment prevents me from doing so. Those are our leaders. Now, think about what I told you guys with Bernie Sanders. You have Bernie Sanders who comes out and is suddenly, it's okay to be a commie. It's okay to be a socialist. You can be these things. And in America, you would never hear any politician say, yes, call me that. By all means, say that I'm a socialist. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. You have people all over the place. Yes, you're right. I am a socialist. That's not something to be proud of. So what happens when you have people who are suddenly so proud to want to control your speech? Do you think that's something that's going to go down? The question from her, shouldn't you be out there controlling speech more? Shouldn't you be out there controlling speech more? And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And you're going to have this. It's one of the reasons, no matter how limited speech may still be over on Twitter, Elon buying it was a wonderful thing. If you go back to when Mark Zuckerberg said that they were going to open up free speech more on Facebook, if they'd actually done that, it would have been a great thing. I said it at the time. This is a great thing if he actually follows through. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's going to go the opposite way. And these same women that you saw over here with the Republicans, they didn't really offer anything pretty. And the ones who are going, Donald Trump is right when he says abortion is what lost the 2022 election. These are going to be the same women who go, we really shouldn't be saying mean things to each other because it makes me feel bad. And there go your rights. Women, stop it, please. You're destroying shit. And hashtag not all. There's a ton of great women out there. Ton of really stupid ones too. And men, for the love of fuck, find your nuts and stand up and learn to say no. Because you're the problem. You fucking little assholes. Worried that she won't touch your little nuts anymore if you actually have a spine. Learn to tell women no. Some shit is stupid. It's just stupid. You would tell your friend if he did something stupid. You should be able to tell your friend if she did something stupid as well. But she might never touch my pee-pee. She's not going to touch it anyway, you little fucking pansy. Anyhow. And that's my rant on all the things bad in our world today. it just really does bother me because I'm seeing the kind of people who should be standing up against this stuff, especially when one of his things was all you were was against you were against grooming. Uh-huh. And what what's the downside there? I'm very curious. What? Huh. You're just against the grooming. Yeah, because it's bad. You shouldn't be trying to touch kids, boss hog. I mean, seriously. And that actually, I feel bad because that kind of besmirches Boss Hog from the show. What's his name? Boss Hogwa? Fuck, I don't care. ATF, thank you. Do you still have a dog around? We think you may have some untaxed oil filters. I mean, solvent traps. No, I don't. My neighbor does. Be careful. He's got pit bulls. He got 2 pit bulls, man. I don't like that. He's got 3 little kids and he's got 2 pit bulls. We're gonna end up on the news one day. Anyhow, how was y'all's New Year's? Did you guys have a good one? I slept through mine and it still feels wrong. I did get up and do a whole bunch of stuff yesterday though. I was awake until almost 5. Yeah. I was productive kind of. Went to the store with Lady Monkey. We did some shopping and what else did I do? There was other stuff I did. And I was proud of myself and I was just tired. Why are you trying to morally justify me? Who? Are you talking about that guy or me? Because I would never do that to anybody. I work with data and asset management company. The UK pays better and it's easier to live in. Easier to live in how? Do you just not like the sun except for that one day a year you guys get it when it gets to be like 800 degrees and y'all bitch? I'm asking sincerely. Yeah. That's such a dumbass argument. You guys don't have anything positive. You don't have anything positive. Imagine a football coach like, all right, guys, this week we're not going to lose. But coach, you didn't say we were going to win. Shut up, pussy. Get off my team. Go play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers where you belong. You guys paying attention to football at all? 1 week left, y'all. 1 week left. My Chargers are in. The NFC is probably the saddest I've ever seen it. Are you guys watching? I've been enjoying it. This year hasn't been too bad. Lots of injuries, lots of weird shenanigans from the referees. I really do think that there should probably be a cheating scandal. I bet if they look at some of these referees' bank accounts, they got some fat checks recently. But at least it hasn't been political this year. At least it hasn't been. They still have some of their stupid sayings on the back of their helmets, and they have some in the end zones and stuff. But it's not like it was just 2 years ago, which was so annoying. If my Steelers don't make it, Steelers, they're one of the outside teams, right? Because in the AFC, if I remember correctly, there's like 3, 4, 8, and 8 teams. All of them are going to depend on what the other ones do. Bengals all the way, ain't no way. I'm calling it right now. The Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl. I just want to be clear. I'm not saying they're going to do it this year. I'm just saying the Chargers will win the Super Bowl. I haven't been paying much attention to anything else, if I'm honest. I've stayed away from the news and stuff recently. I've been catching up on a lot of YouTube watching. I watched probably 2/3 of Jim's final stream earlier tonight before I started the show. been watching a lot of stuff in the background while I'm playing video games and doing other actual work. ATF again, thank you. Just report him to us for his solvent traps. The dogs will be in heaven soon. Might be some other damages. That's the ATF. There's definitely going to be other damages. And they'll probably confiscate all my money too. Monkey, we live in a modern world. Bribes are delivered on USB sticks in crypto, no cash to be seen in bank accounts. That's fair. That's maybe. Well, here's the thing. This is something that was said in one of the Sam Bankman-Fried things, and I forget who it was, but it might have even been one of his underlings there at FTX. But one of them specifically mentioned giving money to football stadiums, giving money to referees. Like, what? And nobody in the news that I saw caught that part or jumped on it. But there was a mention of something to do with giving money to referees. And like, well, that's interesting. I mean, we used to have congressional hearings when there were games and stuff fixed. What we got to do is find out all of the crypto wallets we need to get CoffeeZilla on this. Go find me all the crypto wallets of people who do NFL refereeing. Sam's girlfriend is hot. That chick is ugly, man. Oh, I can't believe there's people who actually got excited about wanting to see that sex tape. Yeah, the whole thing with Sam Bankman and all of that, his dirty money went deep. And I wonder if we're ever going to know exactly how bad it was. You know, the guy who's doing the audit of it, the one who had done it for Enron, and he comes out and goes, this is worse than Enron ever was. Worse than that ever was. I wonder if even he's going to be able to, pinpoint all of the shenanigans that went on there. Heard he got caught transferring funds, basically stealing after bailout. After what bailout? Of course, we're never going to know. Well, Eagle, I hear you. However, when I'm talking about how deep it went, I mean just even, look, to a lot of people, the NFL is not something you take seriously anyway. And I can get that compared to everything else that went on, the stealing of everybody's money, very likely money laundering for Ukraine and the Biden administration, the payouts to the DNC and all of their different candidates. Those are the major ones. But all of the minor stuff, that's kind of what I'm interested in. Because, look, he's going to get away with most of the other shit anyway. They'll get him maybe for stealing from people, but they're not going to actually look deeply into money laundering. Because it's not in anybody's best interest right now to do it. But, like, I really would. It would be wonderful to me if I woke up one day and there's a article about how Sam Bankman-Fried paid off referees, and that's why I don't even know what team he supported, but whatever team he supported did as well as they did. That would just make my day. How many times do you think this guy paid off a cop or something? That he gotten in trouble and like, you know what? Here's a little something for you and your family this Christmas season. Remember, he was the most generous. That is actually something that you can see said over and over again. The most generous billionaire ever. The most generous. He stole those billions of dollars, by the way. He robbed mostly smaller investors. We're not talking him robbing, the Madoffs of the world or your Wall Street billionaires. No. Most of this money is, it's crypto money. Your day trader kind of people. Your YouTuber who found out about crypto and decided they were going to get rich that way. That's who he ripped off. But it doesn't matter, right? Because he was the most generous ever. That's such an altruistic billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried, who dresses like a bum and drives a car like his mom. He wasn't living. They always talked about that, look, he just dresses in t-shirts, and that's because he's a slob. And he just drives in an Altima because he just went to the closest car lot. Look at where he was living. He wasn't living in a little condo that's attached to another condo in the middle of he had a big ass place. His parents are paying $20,000 a day for security, I read somewhere. Damn. Wow, they're rich. They got the money. You know what? Throw his ass in jail. He'll be safe there. He stole billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. And they're just letting him nah, bruh. You just go sit over there for a while. We'll get to you eventually. How long do you think it'll be before he ends up in an actual court? Not all the pre-trial stuff, but his actual trial. I'd be shocked if it's before the end of the year. Let's see. What else do we have? New York lawmakers become nation's highest paid after a 29% increase. Yeah, sounds right. Sounds about right. Oh, my goodness. What do you guys think about the banning of TikTok? We've talked about it just briefly here, but I don't think I've ever paid attention to what you guys think. Do you think it should be banned? Do you think it should be illegal in the United States to use TikTok? I don't think it should be illegal. I think it should come with a giant warning at the front that every time you turn it on, it comes with a warning that says the Chinese may steal your information if you use this app. And then people are making an informed decision. Now, I don't think anybody that's in a position of any kind of governmental power, somebody like a senator, or I don't know, a congresswoman from New York City who likes to pretend that she's still in high school, I don't think they should be allowed to be on there. Not on official accounts. But I'm not down with necessarily banning it outright. I just think it should have that warning on it. Chairman Mao will be reading this. I'm sorry. Chairman Xi. They all just kind of run together. They all look alike. I meant commies, not Asians. Damn. And all that will become is the terms of service that they just hit the I accept on. Again, but at that point, it's up to them, right? I think for most people, your information being stolen by the Chinese probably is not going to be that big of a deal anyway, because the Chinese don't care about you. They care about you if you have something that they could use. So if you're just some asshole who's dancing when you're supposed to be taking care of sick COVID patients, you're probably okay. The Cast One, thank you. Not illegal, simply made to follow the laws. Well, yeah. I mean, it's as long as you're doing your privacy laws the way you're supposed to, you're protecting privacy. Sure. I mean, at that point, though, shouldn't the government, if they did actually break those laws, be going after them? We see data breaches all the time because it's way too easy to break into these data centers. It's way too easy to break into stuff, especially when you have thousands of people who have some kind of access to it, all of which who are getting phishing scams from some idiot going, yeah, we need your password. And could you also show us where you sign in? So, yeah, we'll see. I just don't know that banning it is the right way to go. It feels wrong. It feels wrong to ban it. And it's not because I support the Chinese. Fuck the Chinese government. They can go kiss my whole ass. I think a better way to go is to start pumping up alternatives. Pump up YouTube shorts. Although YouTube, you really need a better name for that. Good morning, Alan. Thank you for the donation, my friend. Elon, get to work on the bringing back Vine in a updated way. Sam Bankman-Fried will also shoot himself in the back of the head twice, at least. Actually, I don't think he will. I think he's probably going to get off on all of this. It's crypto, man, and you're gonna have a hard time proving that there was an actual look. This is the legal side of things. You and I can both look at it and go, this motherfucker stole a whole bunch of money, right? We're agreed on that. But there's also the legal side of it where, one, getting a white collar criminal conviction is ridiculously hard to begin with. But we're also dealing with crypto. We're dealing in unregulated markets. I think the best they might be able to get him on is some fraud. And even then, if you listen, I told you guys about the CoffeeZilla call that he had with him. CoffeeZilla talked to Sam Bankman-Fried 3 different times. I think they were all on the Twitter. What does Twitter call them? Their little call things that they do. Is it Twitter Spaces? He talked to him 3 different times. And the first 2, Sam kind of slinked away. And finally, on the third one, he got a little bit caught, and he kind of admits to fraud a little bit. Thank you, Cast One. Pro Dem corrupt. Someone is getting off for sure. Yeah, no doubt. But even in this, so this is what it breaks down to when it comes to the fraud. In their terms of service, they say that your money is your money. They will never use it for anything else. It's just yours. When you put money in a bank or something like that, the money doesn't just sit in a little account off by its side. That money all goes into, their loaning it out, investments, all of this stuff. It's still your money, but there's a chance of losing money in it. It's all part of the whole system, except for in specific accounts. So hashtag not all. But it's just accepted that that's how banks run. They can't donate. They can't lend money if they don't have money. So you guys put all your money in there, and the way that you're able to get things like interest rates is because of how well the bank does in loaning money out, in investments, real estate, all that kind of stuff. Well, in this crypto thing, it's like, we will not touch your money. However, there was a separate part of the terms of service that said, well, we will touch your money. But at least according to Sam, you kind of had to opt into that. So if you didn't opt into it, then they shouldn't have been using your money. Does that make sense? Fractional reserve banking, making money from nothing. Well, it's not necessarily from nothing. It's from investment. But I understand you. And the difference is, when it comes to things like a bank collapsing, at least there's the FDIC, and there's no FDIC when it comes to crypto. There's none. And any of them that tell you differently, because there have been some, they're like, yes, we're FDIC backed. They are absolutely not. Their money is, your money's not, because they take their money and put it in a traditional bank. Odd, isn't it? They put their money in a traditional bank, and then they can claim it's FDIC insured. But you having the crypto is not FDIC insured at all. So there's still some question about whether or not the terms of service were as ironclad as they look. It may turn out, now there's things like building in the back door so that they could move money without people seeing it between Alameda and FTX. It certainly doesn't look good. But is it illegal? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Unless there was something within their own terms of service, because again, not regulated, you guys. Not regulated at all. And that's not to say it should be regulated. I understand the arguments against it, but people need to be smarter with their money. But it's not regulated. So how do you go in there and say he did something wrong with that? It's an exchange monkey with parked money, not a loan company to the hedge fund. No, Jeff, you're wrong. Some of it was supposed to be parked money, at least some of it. A lot of it was not. A lot of it was not. So it's more complicated than it seems. And this is why things like white collar crime, and we're going to see this a lot in the crypto sphere, why it's so hard to prosecute. I mean, if you look at just some of the FTX coin, they're not FTX coins, the crypto coins that are out there that are quite clearly scams, where people take what's his name? Fuck, I can't think of his name. Ice Poseidon. Ice Poseidon makes this crypto coin, and he tells his people, this is not going to be like all those other crypto coins. It's not going to be like all those other crypto coins where they rug pull. For those who don't know what a rug pull is, it's where everybody puts their money into this cryptocurrency, and the people who own that currency just take all the money out. It happens quite often. And ICE says, this is not going to be a rug pull. And so people go in and they buy his coin. And then he takes, what was it, 50, 60% of the money out, just takes it. The coin itself fell to 1% of its highest that it ever was at, all the way down to 1%. This motherfucker quite clearly committed fraud. Quite clear. If this was a bank that did this to you, that banker would be in jail. No ifs, no ands, no buts. But no regulation. Ain't that a bitch? That's going to be the whole floor pool. Yeah, man, some of these. The reason that Bitcoin still has some worth is because Bitcoin actually does have a monetary value. You can spend it somewhere. Very few of these can you spend anywhere. And without the ability to spend anywhere, basically what you're hoping is that it goes up so that you can sell it before it becomes worthless. Because there's no reason for it to keep worth. There just isn't. None of the bankers that created the credit crisis went to jail. That was a different scheme, though. These guys were selling mortgage. They didn't lie to anybody about the money being there. They were just donating or lending out money that shouldn't have been lent out. A lot of it under government order, though. And they just kept repackaging all of the mortgages as securities, which then eventually all failed when these people couldn't pay back their mortgages. That's different than going, hey, you give me money, I'm going to make you a lot more money for it. Oh, by the way, I just stole all your money. Those are different things. Bitcoin is finite. Yes, indeed. A lot of these coins, a lot of the coins still say that same thing. It's finite. However, it still has no intrinsic value to it. This is okay. How can I put this? Well, I mean, the coin is just the best way to do it. Imagine I tell you, okay, I'm going to make this thing and it's going to be really valuable. As long as you put money into it, it's really valuable. All right. So you put all your money into it. You can sell it to people and you'll make money. So you sell it and okay, you did make money. But this guy, he buys it for more than he paid, or he buys it for more than you paid for it. So you bought it for $5. He buys it from you for 10. Ooh, now he's got $10 of this thing. All right. So you got $10 of this thing and he wants to sell it. Well, nobody's willing to pay $10 for it anymore. In fact, they're not even willing to pay $1 for it anymore. In fact, they're not even willing to pay 50 cents for it anymore because it's literally nothing. It's literally nothing. There's nothing behind it. And while you could say similar things about Bitcoin, the ability to spend that money changes it. Because with Bitcoin, you can go buy things online places with it. You could never buy anything with the Ice Poseidon coin. So the only thing for that to ever do was collapse on itself. The only thing for most of these to do is collapse on themselves. like a casino chip, kind of. But even the casino chip has the backing of the dollar. A lot of these places claim to tie their coins to the dollar itself. Kind of funny when it's supposed to be a way to get away from the dollar. But again, the problem is it's only as long as people are willing to pay for it. I put $5 in. I bought this crypto coin, and nobody will buy this crypto coin from me anymore. My money is literally worth nothing. At least with a casino chip, Jeff, you get to play the game once. You know what I mean? At the very least, you get to put it into the slot machine and pull the lever once. Yeah, but anyway, that's a big problem going into any case against Sam Bankman-Fried, is that it is an unregulated market. It is crypto, which is confusing to a lot of people. You also have this backdoor stuff between them and Alameda, plus a whole bunch of other companies that Sam ran, but those are the two main ones that caused the problem here. You have Alameda making just some asinine investments, fucking retarded investments. Like, one of the things that Sam did was buy up a whole bunch of crypto that failed back in June. There's no reason to. There's really no reason to. But he was saving them, which, all right, I guess that was nice of you to do for the people who had that coin at the time. Coins are still worthless. It's not like, let's say you own a chain of supermarkets, and there's this one store that you don't own. There's one city you don't own any stores in, but there's a grocery store there that's failing, and you come in and buy it up and clean it up, make it nice, and turn it into a new business. No. This was like buying air. We're going to save that air from collapsing. And they spent billions on that, billions and billions of dollars on that. Anyhow, yeah, crypto works out great until somebody's like, okay, I'm cashing out. And then everything falls to hell. And Sam Bankman-Fried, I'm still irritated by this. He was treating it like a joke when this was all blowing up. Do you remember his one tweet? Well played, talking to the guy who runs Binance. I forget his name. Like, this happened because of this one guy. Huh, well played. No, this happened because you ran your company like shit. He wouldn't have been even anything he said about you wouldn't have mattered if you hadn't run your company like shit. FTX, even while I still believe it was eventually going to collapse because it's based on crypto that has nothing behind it, it should have lasted for a few more years easily. There wasn't a great pullout from it. A great pullout came when somebody did some investigating on their back end and went, these guys have no money. And an article was written, what was it, in Coinbase, I think? No, not Coinbase. What's the name of that? There's a very popular crypto magazine, online magazine. I forget what it is. But they wrote a report on it. Like, these guys have no money. None. And so this guy steps in and he's like, we can maybe, we can't fucking help with that. That's crap. Well, first he said, you know what, we're pulling all our stuff out. And he didn't just do it out of spite. He did it because of this report going, yeah, there's nothing here. Oh, well played. Well played. Motherfucker, you just stole everybody's money and then tried to get out of the country, went down to the Bahamas. Bitch, you went to the Bahamas. Your first mistake. You should have went somewhere else. Should have went to France or something and told him you touched a kid. They'd never send you back. But he runs to the Bahamas, running around like nothing ever changed, going on different, what was it, NBC? Was it NBC that had that interview with him? Had that fucking... And he's up there, yeah, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know why. No, look, we did everything we could. We were all on the up and up. We don't really know exactly what happened here. Motherfucker going on these Twitter spaces, running anywhere he could to tell his goddamn lie. The media really not going after him, even still today. While they've talked about it occasionally, this should be a massive story. Billions of dollars. Because while these coins don't really have any value to them, people had to put money in to buy them in the first place. You still have to buy into it with real money. You buy into it, and then they just take that money. Gotcha, bitch. It's mine. Oh, so dirty. So dirty. I wonder how all those crypto bros on Twitter feel these days. All of the ones who told their friends and family and stuff to get into it. I saw one tweet from somebody who's like, yeah, I told my family to get into FTX and now they won't speak to me. Like, yeah, probably, that'd be the very least we'd be dealing with. But all these, no, I know crypto. I know crypto. Just ask me about crypto. I've told you guys all along, I don't know shit. I know, I can tell you what happens. I can't tell you exactly why each coin becomes worth what it's worth. You know, like what caused that one to blow up at this time. Ethereum, that one was blowing up there for a while. I still can't tell you why, because as far as I know, that one was mostly bought or used to buy other coins. Could you spend Ethereum on anything real? Lots of stories should be huge. I hear you, but typically if it's like something like this, where some wealthy motherfucker goes out there and steals a bunch of shit from people, this billionaire, how many times do we hear about bad billionaires? And you never saw Bernie Sanders whining about Sam Bankman-Fried? Did you ever see Bernie Sanders whining that Sam wasn't paying enough? I wonder if he will now. Has Bernie said anything about Sam Bankman-Fried? This is the kind of story that should be front page news, and all of the people get to beat their chest about how horrible billionaires are and how they just steal from the little guy. Look at that New York Times book talk. The host didn't know shit when interviewing him. It took CoffeeZilla. Yeah, it was everything I've seen, with the exception of Coffee. And again, I didn't watch a lot of the Twitter Spaces, but everywhere I've seen him, the hosts are almost apologetic that he's going through this. Like, how are you dealing with it, Sam? How you dealing with it? As you live there in your big ass house. I know you got your ankle bracelet on. Hopefully it goes all the way out to the pool. Hopefully you can go to the pool before it goes off. Fuck, man. But no, this should be the kind of thing that you see the liberals just losing their shit over. Look at how they're treating the poor people. But old Sam Bankman-Fried gave a lot of money. And don't forget, he did help Ukraine. He's the Ukrainian crypto bro. No real crypto-backed FTX. It was a wallet that called itself an exchange not worth shilling for. Yeah, I don't know enough about how FTX worked, because I know FTX, I mean, they called themselves an exchange. And that's the whole part, guys, about your money being locked up. Your money doesn't get spent. They were still spending it. A wallet is, in this instance, it should have been like a vault. You know, you put your coins into that wallet and your coins don't come out unless you sell them. And they were intermingling. He even said, what was it? He wasn't exactly sure whether or not, I believe it's how he said it. He wasn't sure whether or not money that wasn't supposed to be spent was. And it just annoys me that this isn't a bigger story. You don't have your major, even the Wall Street Journal didn't cover this as well as it should have. The New York Times was seriously apologetic. And I'm not just talking about that interview. Some of the stories that came out after we knew pretty much everything, they were still like, Sam's still a nice guy, I think. They're just sucking up to the guy. I don't understand it. He's going down. You don't have to go down with him. The only reason to do that, well, I guess there's two. I guess there's two. One, you got money. Or two, you think he's going to beat it and he's going to start up a new thing and you want to be part of it. Those are the only two real reasons. Bernie was good, but he was bought out. Bernie was never good. He's a fucking commie. He goes all the way back to that motherfucker. Don't get me started on him. Look, Cuba's bad, but at least they taught people to read. I mean, they read the books before they were shot for reading the wrong ones. I mean, come on. Nobody knew how it worked. That's how they got away with it. Well, the kind of stuff that happened with FTX, this kind of stuff has been known for a while. One of the problems with the crypto coin things like this, I know you guys don't want regulation, you crypto bros and stuff. I get it. I do. However, there should at least be some kind of financials that they have to provide. There's got to be something to where they can prove that the money is where the money is. And if they're lying and cooking the books that way, then they get in trouble. Just saying, oh, look, I'll get an audit done is not the same as having independent auditors come in and look. Just my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 6 o'clock in the morning. I am going to go take a nap, I think. I'm tired. I've only been up for about 4 hours. But I didn't sleep well. I woke up at least 3 times while Lady Monkey was in bed. She came to bed about 8 o'clock, I guess. And while she was still awake, I woke up 3 different times. Like, damn it, woman. One of them was because of Phoebe. Phoebe got under the bed and was doing her scratching thing. The regulation the government should enforce is businesses telling the truth. Yeah, and see, that's part of what, I mean, if you got a contract, that's one way to do it. A second way, it has to be financial openness. You have to be able to, if you're going to invest in something and they go, we have $10 billion in value, you should be able to look at it and go, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's all here. But otherwise, if they're just allowed to say, we have money, I mean, that's not technically wrong. You know what I mean? Or when it comes to crypto, like, well, if you look at it exactly on this date when 18 of these coins were up, and then you look at it the next date when these other 18 were up, then combine, there's got to be some transparency there. But if you sleep, bad stuff will happen. I know, and I hate when that's the case. Yeah, for real, done. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate it. And I'm not going to do a game stream. I was planning to get a game stream. Maybe we'll do one after I wake up. But I got to go lay down for a while first. Man, I hate that I need so many naps. I feel like if I slept normal, I wouldn't need so many naps. But I just end up taking like nap after nap after nap. I didn't sleep, but I took 6 naps today. Thank you guys for hanging out. Take care of yourselves. I love you, and I'll see y'all next time. This is the end of the show song. Don't worry, it won't last long. And it's not about my dog.